Well, happy Monday morning. As you can tell, it is really early and my windshield needs washing. Good Lord. It's 4. Yeah. This is what 4 o'clock looks like in Tucson, Arizona in July. The last week of July, which is pretty crazy because Ben starts school not this week, but the week after. That's crazy. But I think he and I will go out today and do some back to school shopping, so that should be fun. Today is supposed to be overcast, and that's why I'm choosing to go out shopping today, because it's just so much easier and so much nicer to go out when it's not so scorching hot. So I think that's my plan. After having breakfast with Glenda, and I believe that, this week and next Monday will be our last 6 a.m. breakfasts, because we'll definitely have to switch to 8:30. We'll have to switch back to 8:30 because I'll have to take Ben to school and then go to breakfast. So, yeah, that's how my life rolls right now. Nothing much more to say, I guess, than that. I don't know. It's a little hard, honestly, to think this early in the morning because my brain is just really sleepy. In fact, we almost overslept. So I'm glad that Donnie jerked awake, because that would have been pretty bad to have him late to work. He does drive about 40 minutes to work every day. And so it's not good to be late or, to have that, because then you want to speed. And I don't want him to get a ticket. That's just expensive and annoying. So I don't know. I guess we were sleeping really well last night. I don't know. So, I'm trying to think what else. Let's see. I had Charlie on Saturday, which was fun. I didn't have him all day like I thought I would, but I did have him quite a large portion of time, and it was fun because it was just Charlie, which is always fun, and then it was very cute because when he sees Ben, he's always very curious about Ben, because Ben likes to stay in his little room area. He's 15, almost 16, and so, that's just the lifestyle of kids at that age. Ben works on different Native American jewelry, and right now he's really into making spears and also arrowheads. Well, he's always made arrowheads, but the arrowheads for arrows. And he's looking up ways to make his own bow, which is really cool. So he tends to work on that when Charlie is there, just so that our living room is so small that it's hard to have too many people in there. But definitely he's a good kid, and he has a lot of patience with Charlie. And Charlie's very content, so whenever Ben's around, he'll just plop himself down next to Ben and chew on his toys and so forth. So yesterday I woke up, and when I did my port clean, which I do every morning, but it's like yesterday, for some reason, there's quite a lot of Fibrin, which is odd because Friday I do Fibrin, or I do heparin to help control the Fibrin, but there was like a very large piece of Fibrin just hanging out of my tube, which to me is always kind of creepy. It's like, I don't know, half of me thinks of like all these scary movies that I've watched where there's, you know, creatures that live inside you that burst out, or you know, whatever the case may be. But it's just funny to think that, you know, but it's just always a little bit nerve-wracking, I guess, still to this day, if I see a bunch of Fibrin in my tube, which is not always the case. It's usually pretty okay. I think my body just naturally makes Fibrin, so that's why I feel like I have to use heparin quite often. But again, I just do the heparin every other day, and that seems to be a good way for me to do it. But then that meant that yesterday, so I would have done heparin on Friday, but I usually don't do heparin on on Saturday and Sunday, but I went ahead and did it because I just don't want to have a huge buildup of Fibrin, because that clogs up your port inside your body. And if the port is clogged up inside, then you can't do dialysis because you can't get your liquid in and out. So, I don't know. I remember the first time that I saw Fibrin in my tube, it really freaked me out. And I think it was like 2 days after I had my port and my tube. So, you know, you're new at everything, you're a little stressed out. It's a little nerve-wracking to do your exchanges in the beginning because you're having to memorize all the steps of the actual exchange, and that's something that you are slightly familiar with, but not too much, because typically your PD nurse will do your first exchanges for you. Like, you go into the DaVita and she just does it for you because they're trying to figure out, you know, what's the size of your peritoneum, how much should you be doing every day, all this kind of stuff. And so it was wild to have that go on, plus all the steps to keep sterile while you did your exchange, and then to go home and start doing them yourselves. And it's very much like how you learn to drive a car or ride a bike. It's like you have to pay attention to various things at the same time, and it's such a new thing that it feels kind of scary, but you don't have to be worried. And it's funny because just like riding a bike or driving a car, it's almost, for me, that's how I learn really well, is I have to do the thing and then I'm good to go. And so other people read the information and then they're good to go. But for me, for whatever reason, it's just easier to just jump in and physically do it, because then I start to learn muscle memory and I'm experiencing it. I'm a very proactive kind of person. I don't like to sit and wallow with crap. And so I think that's why dialysis also works well for me, because it was something that it was like, oh, you know, once you get your rhythm, then it's pretty easy. But when I saw the Fibrin in my tube, I didn't know if it was a tapeworm or if it was like some type of alien parasite in my body. You know, like it's pretty freaky. And so I did call DaVita's nurse, and she did help me to figure out that it was just Fibrin, and I didn't have to worry. So thankfully thankfully, that was it. So, oh, there's my necklace. Anyways, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to run inside and maybe sleep an extra half hour before taking Mr. Smokey out. So, all right, peace out.